the hardest part is like it takes you a minute to connect the face and the voice.
Totally.
It does. And it's weird because you're like going in and like giving this man a smooch and I'm like, I just gotta like go for it.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of In the Slot. I'm Moobie.
I'm Snelly.
And today we are joined by the wonderful Breezy Bri from Love is Blind.
A strong
Yes.
guest came in, and here she
No,
is.
literally. No, I feel like the breeze came in hot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Into New York this morning.
Obsessed.
Little whirlwind. It's tornado engineer.
Oh, goodness. Yeah,
She was
so
literally at
here
the
we are.
national championship last night.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I'm a Michigan alum, so anytime there's a national championship on the line, I'm like, I'm there.
Yes.
And girls, the way that my friends were trying to convince me to go to Vegas now for the Final Four for hockey.
Oh.
I was like, guys, we got to draw like a
got
small line. Like I
Yeah.
can't be like bopping across the
Bopping
country.
everywhere.
Yeah, like my liver
No.
needs a little protection.
Yeah,
Totally.
correct. But yes, a proud Michigan alum in Columbus, Ohio is very rare.
Yeah,
So
wow.
I'm
That's
like a
When
little
you were at
unicorn.
school, did they win it all?
No, we were a hot mess express with all of our sports teams when I was
Really?
there.
It's always how it
And
happens.
then Harbaugh came and
Mhm.
like the new era of football came. And then I was actually able to go to the national championship a couple of years ago for
Oh,
football.
That's amazing.
So, you know,
Is
it's
it
like-
hard living in Columbus though, because it's literally like enemy territory and Ohio
yeah.
State, and you're literally like, like.
Yeah.
But is there like a Michigan crew there at all?
Oh, yeah, we're like underground.
Oh,
like
that's
the
good.
underground crew.
Of course.
But I feel a little bit braver now that we have a national championship and we've kind of
Yeah.
like kicked
Yeah.
OSU's ass a couple of times.
Yeah.
So I'll wear like my little hat to the coffee shop. Like
Yeah.
nothing like too flashy.
No, like no
Yeah.
altercations.
But like, hey, a little hat.
Yeah.
it
I
will-
feel like I could see you getting a little spit to spit fight out at a bar one night.
Do you get
Oh.
into
Heated
it?
game.
I know, right? I feel like it's really a fine line I have to walk to because it's like, okay, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Like, is it really
true,
worth it right
true.
now?
Totally.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Hilarious.
I can't respect Jade.
So obviously you were on Love is Blind, and that experience
Yes.
seemed literally wild. I watched the whole season, and we
Yeah.
watched the reunion, and me and my roommate would binge every night. We're like, oh my god, no way! And when I told her we were interviewing you, she was like, oh, you have to ask her all these things, and I'm so
Okay,
excited to have
amazing.
you
Yeah.
here.
Well, it's also crazy that show. It's just like it starts out as one thing, like it's so calm, and then like all of a sudden,
Oh,
just like
yeah.
piece by piece, that thing picks up and is like
Yeah.
a whirlwind. And I
Yep.
feel like, and you were definitely involved in it, like.
Did you always know
In
you
the
wanted to
thick of
like
it.
go on a reality show for dating, or like how was
Oh,
the process
heck
of like
no.
getting on Love is Blind?
Yeah.
No, you girls. It was one of those things that what's funny is I was like, there's no way I would never do that. And then when I go to like my family and friends are like, oh, this checks.
Yeah.
Wait, but not in
yes.
a way that's like, it's just my life is so random. Like
Yeah.
I was just saying as I come in here, like I'm like bopping over the national championship, bopping over here. Like
Yeah.
it's just, I'm kind of,
Yeah.
off the cuff and just go with the flow. And so it actually came up super organically in my life.
Really?
And my girlfriend was out to dinner with somebody who was casting in LA. And she's like, do you know anybody that's single in Ohio? I'm casting for this dating show. And she's
So
like,
random.
do I? She's
got a
like,
perfect girl.
let me start this group chat with
Yeah.
my friend Bri. So it came about that way, super like random, hadn't watched the show. Then I started watching the show, and at the time it was DC season.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys watched that one, but it was like Taylor and Garrett. And I'm like, okay, this is like wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I'm gonna go on and be like making out with men and
Yeah.
No,
embarrassing myself.
Nothing like Love
Yeah.
Island, right?
Yeah. So, anyways, it came about really organically, and then fast forward, you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm flying to LA.
Oh my god.
It's wild.
Were
That's-
you like, what were your feelings like walking in there? Like, oh my god, I'm actually doing this. So many women, obviously.
Yeah.
around you. Were you nervous? Were you excited? Were you like, did you expect to be obviously make it to the end? Like, what were like all
Yeah.
the emotions?
Well, what's funny is it's not real. Like it feels so surreal when you get there.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, wait,
Yeah.
what am I doing? And like then you get like everything kind of stripped away with like your phone and
Yeah,
all
that's
that.
crazy.
And then all of a sudden you're like dressed up and going to like press day and you're like, oh, I'm really doing this. So I think there's a bit of it that needs to like set in that this is like actually happening. But then once you're in the pods, it's so chill.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like this. Like,
Okay.
you know, you're just
Yeah.
kind of hanging out. Actually, there's more microphones and cameras in this room
Really?
than there in the pods. Like you don't really
Interesting.
see it.
Yeah. So it felt like very like
Yeah.
real life experience
Yeah.
in there.
And
I was gonna ask, like, sorry, like, were your nerves more for the cameras, or was it more like for the love / like interacting with the people
Yeah.
/ like the audiences?
I would definitely say the second. Like it was more you're nervous about the relationship,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, is he gonna like am I going to see him again
Yeah.
or whatever? Because you only get so much confidence, you know, in the relationship as they give you.
Yeah.
So it's like, but at the end of the day, like they could just like decide you're not on the list the next
Which
day and
is
vice
crazy.
versa.
So
It's
how-
nerve wracking.
Like, how did you, because I always got confused, like, how did you know it when they, like, for the next day, it's like, oh, let me open the door and he's miraculously on the other side. But do the producers, like, schedule that?
Yeah.
Of like, okay. Like,
yeah,
he
it's
wants
all
you back.
scheduled. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of, did you guys, well, you guys were athletes, but did you rush a sorority?
No. we
Okay.
didn't.
No.
I feel like it was like rushed.
Okay.
Like that was how I describe it to people because you're like mutually ranking each other and then the system and
Like,
the algorithm does it. And
yes.
you're like, oh, that's who I get matched with. And then I have these time slots and
Yeah.
those are my dates.
Yeah.
And Connor gave you a lot of stars right off the bat.
Oh,
Very
all the
high
stars.
ranking.
I know.
Like 3 stars next to
Steez
your
and
name. 4
Breeze.
stars. I mean, was he going crazy too about Michigan? And
Oh, yeah. You guys, that was so cute. Like
Aw.
our very first date, I always called it electric. And really it's 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
you're really, for me, I was going off vibes.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's crazy.
I did not come in with like non-negotiables. I was like, nope, I'm going off vibes. And I go in and I'm like, okay, I'm from Michigan. He's like, oh my gosh, like I go blue. I'm like, okay, this is gonna maybe work.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and we keep going. And then his mom is from my hometown and
Mhm.
like went to high school with like friends of our family and stuff like that. So it's just like
It all
all
flowed.
these weird like little
Connections.
like connections that I was like, okay, 10 minutes and obviously lots of stars later.
Yeah.
You know, we go on a second date.
yeah.
So cute.
So in the
Yeah.
interview, like, is that just the 10 minutes? Like, because I feel like that's all like they really show like throughout the season. Like,
Yeah.
they don't show that much. But was there longer
Oh
conversations?
yeah, totally. It
Yeah.
it builds as the round, I guess, like rounds or days go on. You know, your quickest date is 10 minutes, like I said, but your longest date is going to be 5 hours.
Wow. Oh my God.
So,
that's crazy.
yeah.
5 hours? Are you
ever-
just sitting there? You're like trying every position
Yeah.
possible, like crisscross
Yeah.
applesauce.
Oh yeah,
Hanging on the couch.
loops around the room.
Is there like awkward silence ever where you're like, so, what should we talk about next? But I guess
feel
there's like you just have to keep talking.
Yeah. I mean, if it's the right person, it won't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
or you just like take a break because you can like leave the pot and come back.
Oh, you're like,
So
I
you're
gotta
hey, I
go.
need a snack real quick.
Yeah.
Or like I need to fill up my cup.
Do you ever feel like sometimes I feel like when I'm talking on the phone to someone and they're not there, like sometimes I feel like I'm like talking to myself a
You're
little
like,
bit. You
am
know what
I
I mean? Like,
crazy?
and I'm like, wait, like someone actually is listening to the other side
Yeah.
of this conversation. But like, did it ever like feel like that? That like you weren't like no tangible
I
person?
know.
Like, was it
Is
weird?
that weird?
Yeah, like it was like a fake identity. But meanwhile, like, were you conjuring up an image of Connor in your head when you were
Totally.
talking?
What did you
think
see?
he
What
looked
did you
like?
see?
Yeah, we honestly didn't really talk about looks at all.
Yeah.
I think I like maybe spilled a little bit that I was blonde, but it was just like in another
Yeah.
context.
I
of
feel like
things.
that's so hard to know.
Yeah, I was just talking about like my friends or something. I was like, oh yeah, the blonde Raj, and
Oh.
he's like, oh, so you're blonde. And I'm like, yep, okay.
You're like, oh, shoot.
Oh,
But
and then the
there's
other
an array
one-
of blondes.
Yeah, the other one, you guys, is hilarious because the little couch is in there again. Like you're flopping all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm like laying on the couch, and I was like, wow, I like fit within these couch cushions. And he's like, and I'm like, do you? And he's like, what do you think I am? Like 5 foot?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so those are like two physical things I
Oh.
knew, but
You're like,
I was like noted, can't fit it within the couch
Yeah.
cushions, and
You're measuring the
three
couch. You're
stars.
like,
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like correct. But I would say like you just start to know about people, right? Like if you're like, oh, he was athletic, he played soccer. Like
Yeah.
I was like, okay, there's probably like an athletic build. I don't know why, but like just the tone of his voice made me feel like he was like a little bit grungy with like a beard.
yeah.
And so I kind of had it all clocked. Like I thought he had dark hair, beard, athletic build.
Oh, to a
When he
T.
came out though, eyes are so piercing blue. And I'm like,
Wow.
You're like,
I was like mesmerized. I was like, your eyes.
yeah.
What was that feeling like when the doors open or prepping? So how do they prep you? They're like, okay, you did
Like,
it.
yeah, they don't.
Engaged.
No,
No prep.
They're literally
Like,
like,
stand
"All
in front of
right,
the
get in there."
store
Yeah.
and give it. No,
Truly.
I wonder like what was like genuinely because I was thinking like if I'm standing there behind the door,
I know.
you have to have racing thoughts.
Oh,
Like
you're
racing thoughts and even thoughts you
Totally.
probably don't want to admit.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
what like if they look
Yeah.
Or what if he's
what?
literally
Yeah.
ugly.
So what was
Yeah.
like your thoughts?
Yeah, I would say so. They have you go in individually that day because usually there's people in the lounge and like hanging out like in between your dates and whatever.
Yeah.
But that day you're all by yourself. So like I don't see any of the
What?
girls. I'm like waking up and I'm like getting ready and putting like my dress on.
Freaking me out.
And then I
Yeah,
go
me
in and it's like crickets in the lounge. And this is the first time we've been alone in the lounge. And I remember because they hold you like in a pod before.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I was like, can someone just get me a piece of paper? Like a piece of paper, a pen. Like I need to like flesh
Right.
out some thoughts. And
Oh,
Yeah.
I
so
love that. What a great method.
yeah. So I wrote like a little letter to myself like before I met
Aw.
Connor. And it was kind of one of those
Aw.
things that I was like, whatever happens, like know that this is like what you felt going into it with like the
Yeah.
connection and like what you guys built without the physical part of it.
Totally.
And so I love going back and reading that like
It's so
recently
grounding.
because it's grounding, but I had to do that exercise to be like, okay, no matter what,
Yeah.
like remember what this was
Like
built
you fell in love
on.
without even seeing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so yeah, you go up and it's crickets and they're like, just stand in front of this door, we're gonna flash some lights on you. And I'm waiting for this like big like 1, 2,
Yeah. Is there music?
3. No.
That's crazy.
And all of a sudden the door's open and you're like and you're
Yeah.
like, and then I saw Connor though, and it's just like I knew because my nervous tick is to just like laugh. So I
Yeah.
was just gonna giggle, and
Good
I told
nervous
him that I'm
tick.
like I'm probably just gonna laugh, and I did, and it was like I said, it was like everything I thought it was gonna be, except for his eyes were crazy.
Wow.
And
And
then
you're
you're
like,
so
yeah,
good.
little
You're like-
And then
extra
you're like, so
win.
this is
Yeah.
touching. You're like, oh, let me look. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking too, like when you got in there, like I know you were saying you were nervous, but you couldn't even tell. Like it just seemed so natural
Yeah, you really
Aw.
on
didn't come off
screen.
as
And then I
nervous.
was like, but like, you seem so natural. Like when you come in here, like like it seems
Yeah.
very easy for you to like make friends. But like with Connor, did it like you feel like it was like, oh, like
Yeah.
this is comfortable right off
Yeah,
the bat? Or were
I
you,
did.
like-
Well, it's funny because watching it back, I thought I was so awkward, and you guys saying like, "Oh, you were so comfortable." I was
No.
like, "Oh, I guess I was."
Yeah, you seem
Yeah.
like comfortable.
So I think like even watching it back, I was like, "Wow, that was such a genuine connection."
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I felt it in the moment, but like to see it back, I was like, "Oh, that was just me, like being
Yeah.
silly and like
Yeah.
him being himself." And so, I think the hardest part is like it takes you a minute to connect the face and the voice.
Totally.
It does. And it's weird because you're like going in and like giving this man a smooch. And I'm like, I just got to like go for it. Like,
Yeah,
close my eyes,
yeah.
kiss this man. And then I'm like, it's Connor. It's Connor. Just like close your eyes. You can hear
Yeah.
the voice.
But you don't recognize the man. 'cause you've
Yeah.
never seen
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
It's so weird, you
You're
guys.
like, let me
But like,
just
I
to
got
feel.
lucky.
Yeah, you-
I'm like,
yeah.
my
you
man's
guys-
is hot.
Yeah, you guys are a hot couple.
Yeah, you are.
Has it been, obviously you're talking about watching it back. Like, you guys are so making me laugh. Watching it back, do you watch it back with Connor? Or
Yeah, what
do
was that
you-
like?
Oh gosh, you
Especially
guys.
the moment
Yeah.
with Chris.
So
With a bottle of wine, maybe 2.
when January kind of rolled around, we had a conversation because I mean, here's the thing: is our communication is like our strongest suit. So I was like,
Love.
we need to kind of, and I'm a planner. He's like, Bri, we don't need to worry about this. And I was like, no, we need to like figure this out. Are we
Yeah.
gonna watch it together or not?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I just kind of have to have an expectation
Yeah.
of like, what are we gonna do? And Connor's the type of person that will like wake up as soon as like they drop and wants to binge them all. He'll do it all by himself, and then he's like, "Yep, I'm good. Check."
Yeah.
And like,
Wow.
meanwhile, I like want to be like, "Okay, everyone, gather around."
Yeah.
and,
We're
like,
about to watch.
pause,
Yes.
And like, let's talk about the scene.
Yeah.
So Connor and I very like quickly were like, we are not on the same page of like how we want to watch this,
Yeah.
and so
That's so funny. It's literally complete opposite.
yeah.
pages
So
from
we
the
like
back.
did and didn't because there were certain ones we were like, I don't know, the first couple episodes we were actually out flying for press to LA. And so we watched like 2 together, and then he binged them on the plane.
Oh.
And I was like, I am not watching our engagement by myself
on the
plane.
plane. By the way, what if someone recognized him and was like, oh, you're just watching this
Isn't
show?
that weird? So anyways, you got to LA and it was like late, and I'm like, okay, like can we just like lay in bed and watch this episode of us getting engaged? Like I want to see this. And so little moments like the reunion we watched together, but like he and I just process things very differently.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of like
yeah.
respect that.
Yeah, but
you
that's
know?
I feel like that's a part of
Yeah.
relationships
Relationship.
probably. Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Learning to
Yeah.
And I
do
bet like it's so cool that your strong suit is communication too, because it makes so
Yeah.
much sense. Because in the pods, all you have
Yeah.
to do is really just like communicate how
Yeah.
you're feeling and all those things.
this. Yeah.
So how did it come with communication? Or first of all, I thought Connor handled the situation with Chris great, and so did you.
Yeah.
And you were like in that moment when he's saying all those things to you, were you just like, what was going through your head when he was
Yeah.
like literally being so foul?
Yeah. Well, I feel like I mean, we all kind of see like the unraveling of Chris that day. And so
Yes.
I feel like we didn't really understand, number one, who is this man? Because who he was leading up to that. I mean, obviously, even, Jess and Connor, everybody experienced like
Yeah.
a friendship or a relationship with him. And so it's like literally unraveling before your eyes at the party.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't even know. Hammered
Yeah.
on something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay, yeah.
But it was just a little bit chaotic. And so
had you
feel
never like seen him like with that energy
No.
before?
So that's where I feel like number one, it's a little bit just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
But I also feel like we're sitting there having a conversation, and before you develop kind of a friendship. So I'm entertaining it as just like a conversation with a friend, and then it gets like inappropriate, and then it's like, what are we doing? And then I'm like, you can like, you see like the color like come from my face, like my face is just like, what the fuck
You start
is
to be
going
like, get
on?
me out of this combo.
Yeah. Like it starts
And
clicking and you're like,
yeah. So I feel like you kind of just see that all in the conversation, where it starts out as just like, okay, like you're going through it, like blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it's like, things keep coming out, and it's like, wow, this is like really inappropriate and uncomfortable, and I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And then obviously looping Connor in, like, this was
like,
weird.
by the way,
Yeah. It also sucks, I think, that because like I know I've seen like online, like, you know, people like are shedding their opinions on this, and it thinks that you're getting some of that backlash because it's his fault. Like he's at the end, he's the one who made those comments and put not just one but multiple girls into a comfortable situation. So that sucks. I also felt like so many of the men on the season, I haven't watched previous, so I don't know, but like I feel like there was kind of a lot of like liars, like literally just like liars, and like I feel like you seem like you have your head on, like, you know, very straight, like you come off that way. But yeah, like but like were you able to clock it in any, like, you know, notice it with any of these guys that
it's interesting because I feel like there's an element of how you know them in the pods.
Yeah.
Obviously, like
100%.
I dated a couple of the guys that were like in Cabo with us, and then I feel like watching it back though, you're like, okay, who are they? And so I was kind of surprised, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I got to know these people through just dating them myself, and then like a little bit over the course of the year, just being in our friend group. But then watching it back, I was like, wow, like I didn't know that was going on.
Behind the
right?
scenes, what she's saying separately.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I mean, I don't know. There's an element of surprise there, and then it's like I think now, like we're all trying to figure out like who is who and what is real and what is not, and like
and adult relationships are hard too as you're jumping in.
Authenticity right now.
Yeah.
Like,
and also just like things keep
on?
dropping in, like at the reunion with like like Devo, was that how you say it? DeVonta, like how he just like dropped that he had like a kid and baby. So like I don't know, there was just like so many random lies, like not even like necessarily harmful, like really random. I was like,
no, you guys, the reunion.
Yeah,
like literally, I was like, how are these? Like, how is everyone's jaws not permanently on the floor?
Yeah, and then I have questions about that trip. So like, what was going on? So who was actually on the trip that we?
Oh my gosh, the trip, you guys!
I know, and I'm sure you've heard.
No, so it started out as Pri, me, and Ashley, and we're like, all right. As soon as we wrap, we need like a little getaway. And Priyanka lives in Austin. So we're like, I love Rufus too. So we're like, we're going to Rufus. I have a couple of girlfriends that are from college and Columbus down there. So I was like, cool, I'll go see everybody. I'll decompress. So it was really just the three of us. Okay. And then as we started, I think it was like Devo was kind of going through it. He had left the experiment. It was a couple weeks later. And he was like, hey, the experiment. He was like, hey, he had asked like Connor and I if we were in town to grab dinner. Connor was out of town. So Connor's like, just take Bri. Like, you guys can go. Like, I don't care. So we went to dinner and we were chatting, and I was like, why don't you just like come to Rufus? Like, you and Connor should come down, and like, we're all just kind of like decompressing, like whatever. And
because
so
he was broken up at the time too, right?
From what I knew. Yes. Because like I know that Brittany and him left the experiment because they called us on how to kind of do it and navigate. So I knew that they had left the experiment. I knew they didn't get married. I did not really know the status of the relationship from there until like, I mean, that day, like Brittany's like, yeah, I think we're going to like work it out. And then fast forward, you know, a week or so later, Devo's like, yeah, I'm kind of like out on this. Like I'm done. So anyways, it just comes like a whole mess of things where I was like, wow, to me, I'm like, I literally was just going on this trip to go to
invited
a
friend.
And I invited, I invited Devo. I invited obviously Connor. Connor was like, I just want to play video games in my house all weekend. Like totally pop off king. So he doesn't come. Devo comes, and like there's, I mean, a ton of people there too. Like it's like Priyanka's friends. Like I don't know. I think it was misconstrued, and it's hilarious that I was like, now everyone thinks I'm like hooked up with Chris and Devo. I'm like, this is so far from the truth. Like Devo is a friend to us, and it was never anything more than that.
Did you think that was going to come up during the reunion, or was that completely when that happened? Were you like, whoa?
I had no. I was just because it was just like it was so to me. It was just so silly. And I don't know. I don't mean to discredit anything because I understand Brittany had feelings, and now understanding the situation, I could see where she's coming from, and she's confused. But I was like, I didn't know what Devo was telling you.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's the problem. And again, at the end of the day, I was like, it sounds like a Brittany Devo thing.
Yes. I think
Brittany has been hashed out.
No, it's literally Devo's
I'm like, what?
fault.
Like, what am I doing?
Was the engaged man and went on a trip with 3 girls.
Well, they were like I think Brittany and Devo were always on different pages of like how intense the relationship was. Like I think she was always like, I'm all in. It was so like there were some moments where I was like, no, girl, like he's not the one. So I'm happy, honestly, they ultimately didn't end up together because I just don't think that they were compatible.
No, I 100%.
I know, but I mean, it's just hilarious how things can be edited or misconstrued. And I am just like the chillest, like girl. I mean, I got a bunch of like guy friends, but Connor like trusts me, and he's actually friends with my guy friends, you know? So it's like when that came up, Connor and I were like, this is a non-issue. Like he gave me permission or whatever. Not that he has to, but he like
he's chilling us.
He blessed the trip. He's like, pop off, queen, go have fun. I'm like, this is the beauty of our relationship. It's like you're independent, you can do your own thing, and it's 100%. Awesome. Like
that's signs of a healthy relationship.
So
the trust.
And that's where it's just funny how it gets twisted. I was like, oh, I'm in a healthy relationship. This is like, this is fine. But I will say I get it from Brittany's point of view, given the circumstances and what I know now. I was like, oh yeah, like I get it.
And you can take accountability and be like, I'm sorry, like that, like obviously wasn't your intention. Like your intention was to go party. Like that, your intention was to go out and see. You were just trying to raise some roof. Wait, so I was gonna ask, sorry, really quickly. I lost my train of thought.
Oh, sorry. Oh my God, cut her off. I was gonna say, I resonated with you when you were like talking to Connor, and you were like, I don't like all my friends see me as this bubbly person, but like with you, I feel like I'm being a little more like mean to Connor lately. And like that disconnect was like, I just want to like walk through your mind like during that. And I also commended you so much for being like, let's take a step back. We don't have to go to the altar right now. Like I feel like ultimately the people that went to the experiment, like all the way to the altar, maybe didn't work out as well. Yeah. So like, was that hard to be like, I want to date you, but like, we don't gotta get married right away? What made you come to that conclusion?
So I feel like, knowing Connor and I, and throughout this whole process, I feel like Connor's somebody that like absolutely leads with his heart. Like he is heart on his sleeve, all in. You know, if he's gonna do it, he's like jumping in 10 toes down. And I feel like for me, I'm like such a skeptic. Like I am very critical. I lead with my head, and I'm like, okay, how is this all gonna work? Like this is crazy. And so I feel like there was a level of vulnerability, and that's kind of my journey and my story is like, the pods really broke me down. Like it took down my walls. I showed up very vulnerable. I came in and I found this man that made me feel really safe and secure. Yeah. And I was like, wow, like I actually can be a lot more feminine, and I can lead with my heart, and I don't have to overthink it. Right. And so I think I let myself fall in love with Connor because of that. But once you start getting into like, Cabo was like a little dose of like reality, but then you're like, I'm moving in with this person.
The real world, totally.
And guys, like we giggle because they called it, I always said like my mentee bees, and I was like, hopefully I don't get canceled by like the mental health organization for that. But I would have these like mentee bees like thinking about realities coming. Yeah. And I had a couple in Cabo, and like literally bless Connor, like he knows how to handle me in all the different ways. But, you know, the night before we're moving in together, I like have this breakdown. I'm like, Connor, I've never lived with anybody. Yeah. Like, this is crazy. Like, I just met you. Like, I'm very overwhelmed. And so I think really to answer your questions, like it started to creep in when I was getting back like closer to real life. Like I was like, okay, moving in. I got to go back to work. We're going to have to match our schedule. Yeah. So I started then being a little skeptical. But Connor and I, again, go back to communication. We were always like in the loop of how the other person felt.
You in that moment communicating to him like you still love him, but like you were just going through things was like so well done. It was like really awesome to see.
Yeah. I mean, yes, but no. I'm like, I look at it and I was like, okay, the tone could have been a lot better because that's something that we worked on. But I do think like the content of it was very honest and raw. And like, I will say one of the hard parts about the experiment is when there's something going on, they're like, go talk to your mans. So I do think that a lot of my vulnerable moments were caught on camera because it was like encouraged to be like, go talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Don't like wait to talk to your friends or family. Like you guys, like if you're feeling this way, go talk to them. And so a lot of those moments, it's me processing at the same time.
Totally.
Like that kitchen conversation.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking and spewing and I don't even know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the spiral is real.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure.
I also think it's because the connection was real.
Yeah.
You know?
I also feel like it'll only continue to further like your guys' foundation. Like if you're going through this, like this is a big experience for every single person in the world. Like when you're moving in with someone, now you're doing it like on camera for the first time. Like, I don't know. And you guys are still able to like work through it, even if it's not all your best moments. I feel like that's such an ode to you guys.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
I know it's been, I mean, I think all in all, looking at how much growth has happened over the past years, even like from those moments, watching it back to now, I was like, wow, we are totally different people in all the best ways. Like we sat and looked at each other a couple weeks ago and I was like, I'm the best version of myself. And he's like, I'm the best version of myself. And we just had the best year of our life.
So exciting.
Like,
That's so
yeah.
But
success.
Yeah,
Okay,
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Everything's great. Okay, we have to talk about this new movie. It's from the creator of John Wick and Nobody. It's the new movie Normal, a double-barreled shotgun blast of pure mayhem.
All right, that sounds like something I want to be a part of.
Let me tell you,
Double-barreled.
I've seen the trailers. It actually looks crazy good and insane.
It does.
This cop comes to town. He's ready to come to normal, and then bada bang, a lot of barrel rolling, a lot of shooting.
So it ain't so normal and normal.
So he's Sheriff Ulysses, and that's played by Bob Odenkirk. A new job as temporary sheriff in the quaint town of Normal, Minnesota, was meant to be welcome respite from recent troubles. But then, when a botched bank robbery interrupts the peace, a dark secret is exposed, and Ulysses discovers that the town of Normal is anything but.
Oh, so it's a whole lot of unfolding, undiscovering. What's not normal about normal?
Then we're going to watch it unravel and see what comes to light. And literally in the trailer, the woman has like a police scanner, and she's talking to the cops and tracking them.
I love those kind of shows.
This is also directed by Ben Wheatley, obviously starring Bob Odenkirk, Henry Winkler, and Lena Headey.
When does that come out, Moob?
It comes out in theaters April 17th.
Well, I'm going to mark that date on my day calendar.
I can't wait to
That's
watch
going to be the most normal day of the year.
Or will it not be normal? Because we'll see if it's there anything but. Like, do you think it's important that Connor also is like stable enough to be like, bless that trip? Like, is that an important thing? Obviously, we have like a lot of young girl listeners in relationships or whatever. But like, I feel like that's a hard thing to find these days because of social media, because of posts. And like,
I know.
There's a lot of insecure men. There's like a male insecure epidemic. So like, talk a little bit about Connor's security. Is that like a great, you know?
Well, I would say it's something that I think it's because like I am confident too. Like I can give him the confidence.
Love that.
Like just through like being me. I'm like, no, like pop off king, like you are my man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have to almost pour my confidence into him. Yeah. And then he's like, he's like
let's go.
Yeah, like I'm all gassed up. And so I do think that's a little bit of part of the journey, and not to really share Connor's vulnerable moments in his story. But I mean, we talked a lot about like insecurity and lack of confidence, and I just felt like that was a moment to pour into him and be like, there's no reason to feel that way with me, right? Like, I love you and I choose you. And if I didn't want you, I wouldn't be here. Like, I'm at the point in my life that I've put so much into myself. I'm like, I don't need you to come in and complete my life or like do all these things for me. But like, I want you. I'm actively choosing you to be a part of my life. And so I think just messaging that to him, where I'm like, I want you. I'm confident in us.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's
I am
important
too.
Like pouring back.
Yeah.
And like, we're good.
Heck
You guys fill up each other's cups.
No, I think that's like an element of it, and that's like it's a good relationship.
Yeah.
It's the yin and the yang. Like pick each other up in the moments that you need.
The seesaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about quickly, like your something I loved that you just mentioned again briefly was like this feminine energy that like you want a man to pour into. And like for some reason, like I consider myself like girly, like for sure. Like I love to do my makeup and get dressed up and drinks with the girls, but like I've never like really thought about my feminine energy or like how like a man could play into it. And like when you said that, like I was like, and then you were like, oh, like I want someone to call and make the reservations, and I was just like, what are these other feminine energies that this man can pour into? Or
You know what's interesting? I realized, I think it's like, I mean, knowing this about myself, I'm very independent. And I did have this like chip on my shoulder, like kind of like I can do it myself, you know? And I come from, my parents got divorced when I was in college, and I saw just the dynamic of how that can impact a female. And I just saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to stand on my own 2 feet. I need to be able to just like do life without a man. And so I feel like I swung the pendulum and got so independent with this chip of being like, literally, I can carry my luggage and like, I don't need you to open the door. Like, I almost kind of got like defensive.
Yeah.
And so,
Which
you
can
know,
happen.
because you're like, I can do it.
Yeah, like, I don't need a man
Prove
for
it
this.
to yourself. I don't need a man.
Strap
right?
me up.
So I feel like that was kind of my energy before. And then I think once you find that person, though, that makes you feel, like I said, I keep saying these buzzwords, but safe and secure is so important to me. I was just like, I became a puddle.
Yeah.
I was like, I want you to do all those things for me now. Like, I don't
Hold
need
me.
to. Yeah,
Hold
like
me.
literally.
Hold
And
me.
so I think it's, you start to find those things that you need, the feminine energy. And there's start to find the things that you're like, nope, like I stand on business on that. And I do think like, Connor even expresses that. He's like, it's hot when there's certain things you're super confident about and like your swag and your demeanor. And I was like, cool. Like, I love that he can allow me to do that and be feminine in certain areas and be like a little puddle. But yeah, I never have really let myself unravel until I met him.
Which is
Like,
like
and it
so
felt cool.
fun. Like you're still like discovering new parts of yourself, like with him.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing you think you've discovered through dating him or each other? Like, what's something that surprised you about yourself? Like having a boyfriend and be like, oh my God, I didn't even know I'd be like this in this regard. Yeah. Because I feel like relationships teach you so much about yourself, or like
I was saying, I feel like it's like I'm like watching like or like experiencing like with a baby, like doing something for the first time, like
yeah,
it's like when he drives his car,
it's like,
or like
that's how you sip a margarita, you lick the rim.
like,
Isn't that funny? Their little isms. I like fall in love with their little isms. Like the way, this is so silly. I have a video on my phone of Connor falling asleep. And he's got like this little like smile on his face. And I was like, I'm just like obsessed with like this little like smirk when he's like falling asleep.
Yes.
But anyways, I would say
so fun.
learning about myself, you know, what I thought, because I come from this place where I was like super independent and I like had my own place and my own things, and I was very routine oriented, but like I didn't know how much I needed somebody or wanted somebody in my life until Connor came in. And it's all the little moments. And so he moved to Columbus over last summer. And that was a huge moment for us because it was we had an opportunity to do all those little moments, like him popping over after work and like 5 o'clock and he's like there. I'm like, oh, like I didn't know I'd want you to be here, you know, and just like let's unwind from the day and take like 10 minutes and just decompress together, because I was so used to doing that alone. Yeah. And so it's all the little moments. I'm like, this is so lovely just to have like you around, and like I just want his presence, and like making dinner together on a Wednesday night. We said like our best days were some of the most basic, mundane things of just like,
Did you, so you never lived with anyone before, but did you have like what was your dating before him? Like, was it hard to like let someone into your space like that? Because like, that's
but
what
I guess
I
like
think
when
about.
you start, like, because it's like, it's not like they met organically on the street, but I guess if they start on the show, like you probably feel so like easy to welcome them in, because like, wait, I know so much about you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think, so dating before, like I said, I was in this like independent era. And I was just like, I'm not even going to be like emotionally available to anybody until I like have ... Like my goals kind of accomplished. So I probably like came into like more of the like openness to it when I was like in my later 20s. And then it's just like, I mean, you guys I'm sure have dated around, and you're like, well, I'm not going to take myself off the market if this isn't something that's the real deal. Yeah. So there's a lot of great men that I met, but it was nobody that felt like forever that I'm going to go and invest time and energy in beyond maybe a couple months. Right. And so I didn't really find anything that like really clicked. So I never really got to the place that like someone's moving in. Connor had different experiences. He had lived with a couple of girls. And so it's hilarious. Like even to this day, I'm like, coach me. What do I do? But I don't know. It's interesting because like while I don't have a lot of like data points, I also feel like when you know, and you invest in things that you're like, yes.
I think also like everyone's path like gets them to like where they need to be. Like I think it's so funny. Like the more you share too, like how opposites that you and Connor are so
Yeah.
opposite in so many things, and I feel like that's
Yeah.
such like, I don't know, like that's so like exciting. Like I
Yeah.
like have like when you've seen like men you've been interested in before, like was it someone so opposite from you, or was it someone like more like
Yeah.
Or did you
similar
like,
to
you
you?
maybe went after
Yeah.
like, because he was attractive, and then you get in
Yeah.
the pods and you're like, all right, I'm just talking to this entity.
Yeah, I feel like it's so fun to like
Yeah.
learn how someone else like lived their
Yeah.
life.
When
Totally.
you approached your parents and your friends, like, I'm going on the show, what was their reaction? Were they like, oh my God, this is crazy?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, I said it a little earlier, like some of my friends were not surprised to hear it. And neither were my parents, which is hilarious because they're like,
They know
well,
Yeah,
exactly. And so I
Like,
think
of
my mom was
course.
super excited. She's like, this just could be such a magical like experience. And like, I mean, going in there for the right reasons and totally surrendering to the process and saying, if I'm going to do this, like I'm going to do this. And so I think my friends and family knew also that if I was going to go on, like I'm going to give it my all. And so my mom was like, this could just lead to something so beautiful for you. And then my dad, on the other hand, I like was kind of dragging my feet to tell him.
yeah,
Because the big thing for me is having my dad's permission to, you know, a man to like ask for my hand in marriage.
Totally.
And that's usually pretty traditional. And I was like, this isn't going to happen that way.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
this
Yeah.
man is not going to be able to ask my dad, like, to, you know,
Yeah.
have my hand,
He's-
etc. So I told my dad, and it was hilarious because he said back to me, he's like, Bri, you've never listened to me when I've said no. So why would you start now?
Oh my God.
And he's
Such a
like-
dad quote.
Yeah.
I know. But then he went on, and I know that was like a little bit like hilarious, but then he goes on to say, like, I trust you. You know yourself, and I know you'd make the right decision. So like, you don't need anybody else there
Yeah.
to help you navigate that. Like, we'll be here to support you on the other side of things, but like, go do this and like use your head.
Aw.
And like,
Really?
you know,
Use
you
These
know
are the
your
that-
best
head.
to hear.
you
Yeah,
know,
use that
you know
head,
who you
girl.
are.
Get on out there.
And then I
Shout
do,
it
and I
out.
go in, and I'm like strong sense of self, and I was like, oh, and I'm like, well,
Yeah,
That's me.
I was just being me.
That's breezy. Well, I feel
That's
like that's
breezy,
such a
yeah.
testament of like the
Steezy.
experiment. It's like, I'm going to be me, and hopefully the person across the way can like see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see through. So what was the conversation like? I know you said you were nervous for Connor to go talk to your dad,
Oh yeah,
and then like they had the convo. How was that?
Oh, my
like?
gosh.
Bro, did you prep him?
Guys.
Did you prep Connor? We were like,
Oh my gosh, yes.
I
like
knew
for
it.
you
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
when in the experiment it comes up, they're
the
like, all right,
experiment
time
literally
to
kills me
meet
called that.
your parents.
Yeah.
And I was
Like,
like,
woo.
well, I like totally messed this whole part of the experiment because I don't know what I told my mom. I was like, listen, if you don't hear from me by this date, like you better be on a plane to Columbus because like I will be engaged. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need to be there. So when I got home, my mom was
crazy.
literally, because she lives in Florida, she was literally in my apartment, and my producer's like, wait a second. He's like, we usually do the apartments first and then meet the parents. And he's like, but I guess we're just going to do it all in one. I'm like,
You're
yes.
like, yep, you are.
So met my mom and saw my apartment at the same time. And then that was kind of gave me a little bit of confidence to be like,
Yeah.
cool. He like met my mom. It went really well. And then fast forward, it's coming up and it's like, okay, we need to meet your dad. It's time to meet your family. And I was like, because I knew that the trust that my dad put in me, I was like, I better be going in like, Dad, this is
the one.
crazy.
Yeah.
But you have to trust me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going down the aisle with this man. So I was prolonging it
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And so finally they're like, what is it going to take to go to the altar? And Connor's
Yeah.
like, I need to meet Bri's dad. And so the logistics of it are tricky though, because we live in Michigan, or my family lives in Michigan.
Yeah.
So we couldn't take the cameras with us. So we had to go up on our own.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't see a
You
whole
don't
lot of the
see it.
interaction.
Yeah.
But anyways, I say all this because I hyped it up. And Connor goes and meets my dad,
Yeah.
and he was like, Bri. He's like, why did you put so much pressure on that? It was
Chill
so
as
chill.
shit. Of
course,
Two bros
classic.
hanging
And
out.
I'm
Classic.
like, okay, but you have to understand like where I was coming from.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so my dad was very welcoming, open arms, like wanted to
Aw.
get to know Connor, like sat right in between us at dinner.
Oh,
and
in
just-
between, he's like,
Yeah. No, he's
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
better get to know each other.
Yeah.
And so it was good. And I mean, we obviously are so integrated into each other's lives since then. And so we've spent time with both sides of our family to build that relationship. But yeah, I think it was more me putting pressure on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like as I should.
Yeah,
I
100%.
think.
Yeah,
I was like, I wouldn't do that
100%.
over
It's your
any
family. You
differently.
care. Yeah.
And I also understand being like, this is the one. Like, instead of like, oh yeah, maybe, I think it's so much better to go into it being like,
Yeah.
he is the one. I'm so confident in this.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what is there anything on the show that like didn't get aired that you were like, I can't believe they didn't show that, or
Yeah.
Like that you wanted to show?
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of the dynamic of our relationship, like Connor and I think you start to see it in the pods. Like it's this like fun, electric, like banter. It's like
Goofy
goofy.
bits.
yeah, which is the best. I love banter.
And then
Love
all of a
banter.
sudden it's
Banter,
like,
banter.
skirt, like as soon as we get like, and I know that we were getting more serious also, but there were so many fun moments and like giggly moments that were just like, oh gosh. I mean, you see his house, like that whole scene is hilarious because we're
the
like
keg.
cackling.
Yeah.
Like Connor's literally in tears
Yeah.
watching it. That was
Yeah.
one scene we did watch together. He
Yeah.
was in tears, like laughing so hard.
And you could tell he knew too. He was like, and if she didn't like that front entrance, she's not gonna like what we're
no,
keep
he like
seeing.
fully prepped me. He goes, Bri, this is going to be like you're
The
gonna walk in and
Christmas
be
tree.
like, oh.
Yeah.
Were you like, oh my God, how can a man live like this? Like,
Yeah. But again, I'm just like, it's so Connor coded. Like
Connor-coded.
I've realized so much about him.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
It's almost endearing now. I'm like, yep, that's Connor.
Yeah.
Aw.
He's
Like,
just
but
a chill
I
guy.
don't really
He's
know
the chill.
him at the
yeah.
moment. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, is this really how you live? And I'm like, nope, that's really how he lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like
Yeah.
embrace him for all that he is, and like he embraces me for all that I am too. Like,
That's all you can ask
you know,
for.
and you just figure out how it works together and blends. So
Yeah.
wait, I saw you talking on another pod about how there's like a dedicated day to like have sex or something. Sorry, but I kind of want to
No,
get
the
into
sex
that.
talk.
Oh, the sex talk.
I'm like, oh my gosh, not the day. It's like today's the day.
Yeah, it's like today's
everyone.
the day.
I'm like, dying,
Everyone
like, no, no.
gather
Or
around.
like I am intrigued to know, like there's sometimes people get like sexual and like talk in the
Yeah.
pods, and like people must get boners in the pods. Like it just gets so like, I'm sure you want to know there's a sexual connection.
Yeah.
So like there's a day for the sex talk or something.
So I actually really appreciated each day they have like a specific topic to talk about.
Oh.
And it's really to help you obviously dive into
What were the other
this
topics?
person. You know, like finances, goals,
Okay.
future planning,
Marriage,
family, like religion, politics.
So like pretty umbrella
yeah,
terms.
it's like
yeah.
all kinds of stuff, but it's like meant to prompt you to have a focus that day to get to know the person, everything about that topic.
That's honestly really helpful.
Yeah. So the sex day is a day. You can opt in. I mean, you don't have to
Do
talk
you like
about
prep
it.
for it? You're like, all right, here are my hot
Right.
one-liners.
Yeah.
But that's why when I watch this stuff back, that's why everyone should give everybody a little bit of grace when these topics are coming up, because
Totally.
it's like
I don't
that
even know
was
what
like
I would
prompted.
say.
It's not like someone's just like horned up and
Yeah.
talking about this weird stuff.
Yeah.
But it gets edited that way. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Then you're like,
You're
whoa,
like,
they
what?
really jumped right into
yeah,
that.
like,
Yeah.
talk.
okay.
Totally. Oh, well, that's so cool. And I really admire your whole process on that whole
Yeah.
experiment. And it is an experiment at the end of the day.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
you guys keep giggling at it, and it was a shift for me to say like an experiment, but it truly
It really is.
Yeah.
I'm literally sure. It's a once in a lifetime
Yeah.
experience. Too.
And that's where it's like even how Connor and I decided to exit the experiment, like that's where it's hard because technically to see the experiment through is to go to the altar.
Yeah, to, like,
yeah.
technically, right?
Yeah, that's what-
completion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so we're like, well, should we have?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like going back to something we talked about a little earlier, like Connor and I were always talking about, where are you at? Where am I at?
Yeah.
Are we going to go to the altar? Are you going to say yes? Are you going to say no? So no one's blindsided in
Yeah.
anything. But I would say like what Connor said to me, and I really, really respected this. He was like, if I see a future with you, I'm not just going to go to the altar
Yeah.
just to check a box.
To
Like,
complete.
that
Yeah.
rejection. Like also me in a wedding dress, if I want to be in a wedding dress again, like we should only do that once.
Yeah,
Totally.
100%.
Like,
So-
yeah.
It's
And like you
tough.
can have your
kinda
own, you
think
have
you-
your own experience in the
I
experience.
kind of think you guys
Yeah.
did the best way. Even though, like, yes,
It's
is.
like kind of cheating though. It's
I-
like,
I
did we cheat
know.
the experiment?
And then
You're
at the
like,
reunion, when you guys like were
sorry.
still together, I was like, yeah, because no one really knew.
Yeah.
But
Well, and it looks like again editing and all of that, but that conversation in the kitchen is like 6 hours long,
yeah.
and it's all kinds of different topics. And like there's a point where I'm looking at Connor in the scene, he's like holding back a smile, and I'm like, you know, there's funny moments, and then there's like really nitty gritty moments of like, why are
Yeah.
we doing this, and what's
Yeah.
what's still the hold up and stuff. And so it reads as a breakup. And that's where it's so confusing, where I'm like, no. I had to like literally go back and watch like videos. I was like, what did we do that night? I'm like, we went to dinner and then we went to Nashville.
No, you're rethinking it from the edit.
We were good.
Yeah, you're like, wait, we're still dating?
Yeah. I was watching, I remember being like, oh my God, are they breaking up? But then you sort of end being like, but I love you. And he's very much like, I love you no matter what. We're going to stick it out together. So then everyone was like, yeah, I guess they're together, but they're leaving.
Yeah.
But
people thought they were. I got like messages on Instagram like, where are you in this week's episodes of like the weddings? I was like, oh, you didn't understand. We were like leaving.
Yeah.
So anyways, it was a little botch.
So your guys' timeline now is just keep loving each other, figure it out.
Well, girls, I'm going to be transparent with you. This has rocked everyone's world like the last couple of months.
I'm sure.
So you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, like reunion happened and then everything, like the show was still airing and we're just trying to catch up with ourselves.
Take it day by day.
No, truly. And sometimes it's hour by hour. I'm not going to lie. And so I feel like we go from living this like absolutely normal life. Like, you know, we're bopping around town, we're traveling together, doing all the things. And then all of a sudden our relationships put on this like platform and people are so vocal
followers
about,
like likes.
And so, you know, it's just navigating the platform, navigating the noise and all of that. And so let's be honest with you, like it's just been a pause and like take it day by day, hour by hour.
At least you have him to like talk to at the night and cuddle with.
I will say like the communication, like that has been super helpful because at the end of the day, you've only gone through it together. Like no one else knows your truth.
No one else knows that.
Yeah. And I found myself so many times like literally calling him up like, hey, I got to come over and just like, is this what I remember? Do you remember it this way?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you almost feel a little gaslit. And I'm like, I thank goodness have him at least to just be like, is this real?
Yeah. Totally.
So
pinch me right now.
Yeah. It's so cute. And seriously, we give you so much credit. And like, I'm sure it's so hard to go from like that quaint lifestyle to like on blast and reunion and this and that. But like you're handling it so well and like you're so well spoken. And
so
even
fun.
your energy coming in here after being in the national championship is like so amazing.
Thank you.
And talking with you has been amazing. We like to end every interview with Get Stumped, it's called. This is our stump. And we ask our guests some questions and we answer them.
We see if we stump.
We see if we stump you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, here we go. Get stumped.
If you had to go on another dating reality TV show, which show would you go on?
Ooh.
Dating? Okay, I don't want to do another dating one.
You're not with Connor. Like, if you had to go on another show, like going into it, which show do you wish it was if it wasn't Love is Blind?
Okay. I mean, nostalgic, like the Bachelorette franchise and the way they like travel the world.
Dude.
I mean, of course you're going to fall in love. I'm like traveling the world
I
with
love,
this man.
I think it's so cheesy, but I love Bachelorette.
I know.
It's so fun.
And I feel, the only thing I will say is I feel like I'd be very jealous though. Like, right? It was a lot to even know if people were dating like Connor in the pods, but like if I knew like in the teens.
So would you? So you would have to be on The Bachelorette. You would want to be The Bachelorette.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but if I was
like,
I would have to be the one.
Yeah, no, but even like if it gets on like 5 women and like going on dates, and that can be a lot.
Yeah,
I feel like I would want to do Love Island, even though that's a little like naughty, but I feel like those people they literally like skyrocket and they are awesome.
Yeah,
and you're also getting tan and you're just like,
like a little vacation,
vacay.
I actually wouldn't mind doing like a challenge thing either.
Oh,
Connor and I talk about that all the time. We're like, we should be on like The Amazing Race
Couple
or something, like a challenge show.
That would be
really
so fun.
Spiraling from the dating topic, but
no,
I was like that. I mean, people came up to me after the reunion like, you need to go on Traders. I'm like, okay, I don't know what
that would be,
but I was like Traders.
And it's like you and Connor, the final.
Are you a competitive person?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I could see.
Who's more competitive, you or Connor? Who's winning?
Yeah. I think it might be me.
Yeah.
It might be me.
In like sports or like video games, do you even get competitive with him?
Oh, you guys, I've never played video. He would bury me alive if I played video games. But like we'll play pickleball and I'm like immediately chirping. I'm like
I love
hilarious.
That. What show would you go on?
I would probably do I would want to do like The Bachelor, and I'd want to like prove that like I'm the one.
That you're the winner.
I'm the one, or like Love on the Spectrum.
Oh shit.
Okay, the new season.
Wait,
it looks so good.
I haven't started it yet.
It's
so good, guys. It's so good.
I love that.
So good.
What's one thing from your life pre-show you wish you could get back?
Privacy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, the things that people care about. I'm like, are you serious?
It's crazy.
Like, I thought it would be whatever. People are going to be all up in my business, but if you say one little thing, people can attach to it. And I just feel like I don't want to lose myself. I'm like, just don't overthink it. Don't paralyze yourself. But I was like, the privacy is crazy.
Yeah.
You can't take in like anyone's
You literally just have to be,
feedback,
like,
just your
blinders on.
Cheerio.
Not
Just
looking at
people
the
around
comments.
you.
And that's what I was telling you guys, like from basically how Connor and I have been navigating it. I was like, wow, you really have to teach yourself to like shut it out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It kind of like makes you prioritize those like people I feel like around you because you really have to like be like, I care about these people and,
Or, like,
and myself. Like I
your
don't care about
sisters, like,
everyone else. I don't see them out of sight, out of mind.
Literally, like I always say, like I keep my circle small, like a Cheerio, and like only trust those people.
100%. I'm very, very close knit crew, and that is quite literally why I went to the national championship last night because I needed to see my girls, like my girls, and I hadn't seen them since the show aired, and I was like, I don't even care.
You're like, I'm going.
Like I obviously care if we win the national championship, but I was like, I just need to see you guys, like hug you and be like, okay, bring me back to like bring me back, like you know, because like you get the Lulu,
totally,
totally, and then it brings you back.
We're handling it awesome.
Yes, privacy.
And then the last one is who's portrayed the most different on the show versus real life.
Ooh.
Okay, I want to make. Should we make a guess?
Who's portrayed the most different than like in real life now?
I don't.
Do you have a guess, Kel?
I honestly feel like the most surprising to me knowing them was DeVonta.
Really?
Yeah, because he is goofy with us and like I don't know, silly, and like we just do silly stuff, and like I feel like he was so
he didn't come off like that at all,
and very quiet. But again, it's an edit,
so
like, did they miss those silly moments?
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna make this guy not laugh.
But I kind of feel bad too because I didn't realize maybe he was going through it as much as he was because I knew he had lost his grandpa. So like that can throw you off too. So I was just like, he just felt off.
Yeah.
From what I know him as now.
Yeah.
Well, did Alex talk about his sports career as much as he like showed in the edit? Because he talked about that. He's literally getting ready for the wedding day. He's like, this feels like I'm gearing up for the Natty Champ. I'm like, I can't watch
I know.
this.
Yeah. I feel like that probably
checks out.
Yeah. In the
I feel like soccer is his life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like outside
he made that clear.
Yeah. So
I also feel like he like
consistent.
Yeah. No, literally throughout the show, like I feel like he consistently would like do one thing like many times, like whether it was like bring up soccer or like he kept calling Ashley's eyes dangerous, and like I feel like if he like kept track of it,
so
like
many
he would be
edits.
obsessed with saying like one word so many times.
There's edits of him saying the same, like, that's all right.
That's all right. Or like, come give
like
it to me again. Give it to me again. Like,
okay, the fact that you guys have picked up these things and I'm like, wait, I didn't notice that. But that's also because I'm like,
no.
what I'm watching. But
we're the people
also
online,
too, like
funny.
you're watching back, like you're gonna watch yourself. Obviously, you're watching back and you're like, okay, like
there was parts where I was just like, I gotta fast forward through this. I'm gonna be honest.
No, and you were literally like,
sorry guys,
crawling.
love you, but like, gotta go.
Don't need to see. Totally.
Zooms. And I will not go back. I can't. Like, I can never get myself to go back and watch stuff again. I was like, already did it.
No,
check box.
Yeah,
like, on to the
check
next.
that box. Yeah.
And then it'll just become a
Did you pick
memory.
up any new lingo when you were like on the show? Like there was any
lingo.
like I don't know, was there any like I heard like someone was saying like redo a lot.
Oh my god, the redo. Yeah, that was funny. No, that was Tyler. The redo. Yeah, that was a classic one-liner coming out of there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I feel like maybe if I was hanging out with someone in the pods a while, I would like catch up on their lingo.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't believe you just debriefed that whole. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
No, that was so fun. It's also crazy. Like, would you ever debrief something with Connor and then like some other woman would have just talked to Connor and then you're like, oh my god, like overthink McGee? Like I feel like I would overthink totally.
You got to get out of your head when you're in there too, because I was like, I can't think about what women are going in before or after me.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of like the mind fuck when I watch it back. I was like,
oh, didn't know you were chatting like that.
Oh, you were saying those things to Emma. Like, but you have, I'm like, I can't get jealous. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's so wild, but like in the moment, you know what's happening, but I want to be a little delulu.
Mm-hmm.
And then like actually seeing it happen, I was like, oh, you said all those things.
Yeah.
And I know he feels that same way about obviously like the Chris situation too. And it's just like, man, that sucks. Like it sucks to see, and you got to just kind of like,
Be like, we're together now.
I know. You
Totally.
guys staying present.
It's
like
so important.
literally staying in the now. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
life?
'Cause it's
What happened
easy
the last 50
love that
weeks,
thing
not the
called the
last
now.
like
Literally.
4.
And it's easy to go in the future and in the past. And I'm like, why can't I just
Yeah.
exist
No.
happy right here?
No.
I don't know. Sometimes I have to remind myself that all the time. Like even when I'm watching TV, I'm like, stay on it. Stay on
Stay in
it.
the scene.
You
Yeah.
guys staying grounded. That's
Yeah.
all. That's
Yeah.
all we got to be doing right
All right,
now.
let's
is, like,
manifest for
present.
ourselves right now.
Grounded. Oh,
It's all manifest.
please.
grounded. And if you're
We're being
listening,
grounded.
ground with us
Yes.
here
Yeah.
right now.
Ground
Get all
you,
10
baby.
toes
Yes.
down.
And thank you.
Get your ass
Bri,
on
for
a
coming
cushion.
in the slide.